Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Root Beer here with question number 2 on the 2008 Euclid paper. Hopefully you guys have given it a try. If not, I will remind you just briefly, you can get a copy of this contest by clicking the very first link in the description. So question 2 here, much like question 1, has 3 parts. We got a light bulb, and a written portion. I would like to point out, you can get pretty far on a lot of contests, far in terms of the number that you're up to in terms of just doing light bulb questions. But light bulb questions, while they tend to be simpler, they just require a final answer. You don't have to do any of that pesky proving, showing your work, justifying, naming theorems. Light bulb questions are actually worth relatively little, 2-3 marks in most cases. I have seen some very rarely go up to 5 marks. No. So you're not going to be earning a lot of marks as you breeze through the contest and get all the way to the light bulb question on question 7 or question 8 or anything like that. It's good to be able to read through all the questions, but I would like to remind you the written portion questions are where you get the bulkier marks. The Euclid is a written contest, and your justifications, your explanations, they do matter, and that is something worth practicing. Anyway, that's enough serious stuff. Let's get into question number 2. Each part of this problem refers to the parabola y equals x minus 2 times x minus 8 plus 7, which is a very odd form to put the parabola in. It's not factored, so I can't easily tell the roots. It's not in vertex form, really. It's very bizarre, very bizarre. Okay, so A part. The points 2, 7, and C7, where C isn't 2, lie on the parabola. What's the value of C? Okay. So, well, we know that y is going to be 7 in this case. So 7 is y is C minus 2, C minus 8. Now, it's a light bulb question. You could say, well, the 2 goes in here and makes it 0, and that's what gives us the 7 out. So it must be some other number that I can plug in here to give me 0. The answer is going to be 8. And if you see that really quickly, hey, it's a light bulb question, go for it. By all means, go for it. Subtracting, but I like showing my work a little bit, so subtracting 7 from both sides, we get 7 is C minus 2, C minus 8. And from there, I'd say you say C is 2 or C is 8, but we don't count this case. They specifically said C is not 2, so C is going to be 8. And there's our final answer. Okay, not a whole lot of extra work. This is probably worth 2 marks. 1 mark for your answer, 1 mark for showing a little bit of work, although it's a light bulb, so you get 2 marks even if you write the 8. So, maybe if you have messed around with the parabola in a sensible way, you got 1 pity mark if you didn't get the right answer of C is 8. Okay, 2b, what are the coordinates of the vertex of this parabola? So, here's why they didn't give it to me in vertex form. They want me to find the vertex of the parabola. Okay. So, what are we going to do? Well, there's sort of 2 ways I can think to do this. I know that it passes through y equals, I don't know why I wrote 4, y equals 7 here. My parabola sort of looks like this. And so the vertex is going to sit right on this sort of axis of symmetry, which we can see is going to be halfway between 2 and 8. So it's going to be at 5. And if I just plugged in 5, I'd get 5 times 3, and then 5 times negative 3 is negative 9, plus 7, 5 and negative 2. I can very quickly get an answer. Another thing we could do, so this is sort of a geometric argument. It's perfectly fine as long as you say things like, axis of symmetry. Okay, and as long as you word your argument correctly, you'll get all the marks if you happen to make an arithmetic mistake when writing out your answer. This one probably also is worth 2 marks, 1 mark for the 5, 1 mark for the minus 2. I'm just guessing. Maybe it's worth 3 marks, 5, minus 2, and some justification if you didn't get both of those other 2 correct. No idea. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to write this in vertex form. So vertex form is x minus h all squared plus k. An a there if you need it. We're not going to need it. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is vertex form. And the nice thing about this is you can very quickly read off the vertex, hk, is the vertex, the lowest form, or lowest point of the parabola. Okay. Actually, I'll draw my picture a bit more accurately. First time I wrote a Euclid, I did not know what a parabola was and had to ask the invigilator, the proctor, what it was. And he briefly explained it, but didn't really go into any actual detail, because otherwise that would be cheating. And I did not, I believe, get the parabola question correct that year. That would have been the 2003. Anyway, enough reminiscing. We got x minus 2, x minus 8 plus 7. Okay, well, let's expand this out. X squared minus 2x minus 8x plus 16 plus 7. So we got x squared minus 10x plus 23. Okay, well, I want to make this look like x minus something squared. So we'll say plus 25 minus 25 plus 23. This will be x minus 5 squared. And then minus 25 plus 23 is minus 2. So we've got the vertex form x minus 5 squared minus 2, and we quickly read off vertex form. So just write it again in case I need it for C part. I have no idea if I need it for C part. 5, negative 2 is the vertex. There we go. It was some sort of cannonball question. I feel like it was question 5 or something like that on the 2003 paper. Okay, so C part. A line that passes through the point A50 intersects the parabola at B4, negative 1. Determine the other point at which this line intersects the parabola. So I have 2 points on the line. I can get the equation of the line, and then I can intersect it with my parabola. This shouldn't be that bad. Okay. But we're going to explain what we're doing, so using the points 5, 0, and 4, negative 1, we find the equation of the line AB. It was A and B, right? Yeah. Okay, so rise over run, we'll do y equals mx plus b. M is 5 minus, oh, no, that's the run. 0 minus negative 1, all over 5 minus 4. This will be 1 over 1. 1 over 1, not 1 over t, and that'll be 1. Okay, so y equals x plus b. Now we've got the x coordinate, we don't have the y coordinate. I'm going to guess it's minus 5, but let's just quickly. 0 is 5 plus b, negative 5 is b. So the line AB is y equals x minus 5, and that works for both of these. They both lie on this line. Okay, x minus 5. So that's our line. Now we just want to intersect it with the parabola. So if they intersect, then we're going to look at points that have the same y-coordinate, but we have formulas for these y-coordinates. Okay, actually, I'm going to use from B part. I'm going to use the expansion that we had from B part, so x squared minus 10x plus 23. Okay, I could re-expand it out, but I'm being fancy by citing my previous work in B, and I'm also I just wanted it expanded out. So, bringing everything to one side, x squared minus 11x plus 28. And if you want to use the quadratic formula, I'm going to factor these in my head. 28 doesn't have that many factors, 4 and 7. And we know 4 is, x minus 4 should be a factor because B had x coordinate of 4. So that's helpful. You'll get x minus 4 and x minus 7. So x equals 4, which leads to B at 4, negative 1, or x equals 7, which leads to, let's call this other point C, 7, and then 7 minus 5 is 2. And we just wanted the other point, right? Determine the other point, so the other point of intersection, POI sometimes, the other point of intersection is 7, 2, and we're all set. That finishes off question number 2. But we showed getting the line, so that's probably worth a fair bit. And then we intersected the 2. We showed that we get b for -1, so we don't count that one. And we've got our other point, 7, 2. And that's all there is to it. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video for question number 3 as we continue looking at the 2008 Euclid contest. Thanks for watching.